Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode of
Low Expectation Podcast.
We finally got it. So today's drink of the week is tequila shots, cause
Yeah, you're gonna have to fucking say what it is because I didn't. I drank 5 Smirnoff Ices.
So obviously, I picked the drink of the week.
Obviously, because
Yeah.
it's immediately tequila.
Yeah, it's just tequila. Tequila shots. If you're not a fan of shots, you could put in a little bit of lemonade.
That's what we did. We did a lemonade tequila mix.
And it's honestly not bad. The only thing is tequila is smelly.
It's strong.
It's strong, but like you don't taste it. Like the problem is that it's smelly.
I guess.
It smells like feet.
What is it? What's the specific brand of tequila?
Gold tequila.
Margaritaville Gold Tequila. Bring it down to Margaritaville. I don't know why I sang.
I don't even know. Is that like a thing?
It's a Jimmy Buffett thing.
I don't even know who Jimmy Buffett is.
He's like one of those singers that middle-aged white men love. And it's like, oh, like we're gonna go to the beach, we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna have our button-down t-shirts and eat a fucking cheeseburger or whatever. Well, anyways, there's like a billion fucking things that involves Jimmy Buffett. Like, one of the things is he has like a bunch of fucking hotels everywhere. There's one here in Hollywood Beach.
Basically, you mean to tell me you're a middle-aged man who's a Jimmy Buffett fan?
You've seen what I've worn. Is that even a surprise?
I don't even know who Jimmy Buffett is. I couldn't tell you.
Because there's a cheeseburger in paradise. That's another Jimmy Buffett song. You don't know it, but I do. I don't even know the entire thing. I just know the title of the song.
Okay, honestly, like Loki slabs.
Loki slaps.
There's a
Jimmy
cheeseburger
Buffett.
in paradise? Yeah, I bet there is.
I guess. I mean, listen, man. Jimmy Buffett, one thing that he's in the Jurassic World movie.
I've never watched it.
That's not... I love Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I just like dinosaurs.
I feel like at this point, like, we could just... Like, we already know I don't watch movies.
That's fair. Like, we should put it as like a warning right now.
Like, if you tell me to watch it, I will watch it, I promise. But...
Well, have you seen, like, any Jurassic Park movies?
Yes, but do I remember them? No.
Do you even know which ones you've seen?
No, of course not. They're all the same.
No, they're not all the same. Shut the fuck up.
How, like, many more things could go wrong at a park with dinosaurs?
Okay, I'll give you that one.
I'm like...
that one. No, but that's, like, the new ones. If you do Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, they're completely different. They don't make a theme park. It's about how they fucked up the first one and they have to... Well, no, the second one is... Alright, you got me there. They're all the same movie.
Thank you. Okay, so on this week's episode, we will be giving you guys a history lesson.
This is our little history lesson for you guys.
Yes, our little drunk history. The year is 19...
You're immediately going into your story? Like, no, just raw dogging into it. Just immediately. No.
I already fucked up. The year was not 19. The year was 1854.
Oh my god.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, Boston?
Yeah?
I feel like that's a city I would hate.
Really? Why?
I don't know. A lot of white people there.
Okay.
Not
anyway.
Like the specific white people. You know?
I feel like Boston would have the better white people.
Fair. I mean, I'd have to go to Boston and find out, but...
Like, I would feel safe around the white people, like, Boston white people.
Alright, you know what? I'll give you that they gave us Matt Damon. Amazing actor. You're looking at me like you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
I thought Matt Damon, wasn't he the guy in Blur?
I've never seen a fucking movie in my life.
No, the band.
No! What? What?
Then who's the guy in Blur?
I don't fucking know who's in Blur.
Matt Damon.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, the year is 1854. We're in Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston, Massachusetts?
And Aries is fucking born.
You have a fucking disgusting face.
Because
like
it's an Aries.
Alright. I mean, I've never experienced, like, an Aries, so...
Anyway.
Anyways.
A young girl named Honora Kelly was born.
Wait, what? Honora Kelly?
Yes, her name was Honora. She changed her name to Jane, though.
I wonder why.
She later became Jane Toppan.
Jane Toppan?
Jane Toppan. So, when Honora was 1, her mom had fucking died. So sad. From tuberculosis. Big
Tuberculosis?
cough. Just a big cough.
What year is this?
1854, Boston.
1854? Alright, I'll give them that. Like, a lot of people died in, like, the 1800s.
From
like,
tuberculosis.
Stupid fucking diseases.
Not stupid for the time, but stupid
I guess
now.
for the time. Like,
But-
tuberculosis, like, that's, like, what I imagine pioneer diseases being. Like, oh, I'm traveling to fucking California. I'm Lewis, you're Clark. Oh, oopsie daisy, I got tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis?
Now we're gonna die in, like,
I would
3
think, like,
days.
Scarlet fever, did that come before or after?
Scarlet fever feels like a pirate disease, like scurvy.
So anyway, her mom died when she was 1 from tuberculosis. And her dad apparently was fucking insane. And he was said to fucking sew his eyes shut.
Wait, what?
He sewed his eyes shut.
Sue?
Sewed? Sewed?
Sewed.
Sewed.
He sewed his eyes shut. Is there a reason why?
Because he was fucking psychotic. Like, he had problems. So obviously he also abused them and left them at an orphanage when she was 6.
Is there, like... I just feel like there's, like...
I'm like,
there's a
baby, this was
reason.
the 1800s. I can't give you any facts. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. There's no, like, first-hand documentation about what the fuck is going on in these random people's lives.
For real, like, I don't...
That's one thing that I hate about history is, like, I can't know everything that's going into, like, the person's mindset.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want to know why the fuck he sewed his eyes shut.
Who knows? We just know that he might have done it. So anyway, her dad was fucking insane. Took her and her sisters to an orphanage when she was around 6. And then she was taken from the orphanage when she was 10 to a respectable family.
A respectable family?
That was big back then.
What's their names?
Bitch, I don't fucking know. I didn't write that down.
Not that respectable, apparently.
I just didn't think it was important. It was in there. I just didn't do it. My apologies, y'all. It's not 100% historical like.
Yeah, go to a teacher if you want all that.
Yeah, for real. Google it. The fuck? What do I look like? Anyway. So, one of her sisters ended up being a prostitute and an alcoholic. Her other sister ended up in an insane asylum. So, after the fucking orphanage, sis became an indentured servant. And then she went to nursing school. Where, like, she did really well, but none of the nursing students really liked her because she ended up lying a lot. And the thing is, she came from Irish descent. And everybody was, like,
There was
towards
a lot
Irish.
of prejudice towards back in the day. What was it? Early 1900s, late 1800s? Because a lot of Irish immigrants came into New York and Boston. I don't know why they were. Probably because, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's why the name change happened. Because when she got, I guess, adopted or just moved to the other family, they didn't want her to be Irish. So they changed her name to Jane Toppan.
Oh, so this wasn't like a choice that she made herself? Like the family did it for her?
Baby, I don't fucking know. I just know that she had a name change because she was Irish. And they wanted her to be Italian.
Italian. I feel like a lot of Italians faced prejudice at that time too.
Mm-hmm. But I guess it was just better.
I guess.
I honestly don't know.
I wasn't there at that time, so I can't tell you how the people hated the Irish and the Italians.
The thing, like, with her is that's just, like, so funny to me is, like, there were so many red flags. And everybody just, like, let her, you know? Like, even though she was a really good nurse and did really well in school, nobody liked her. And the fucking hospital itself was concerned that she was so obsessed with autopsies.
Wait, do you ever, like, think, like, who was the first to do this?
I guess, but I can only think back to, like, caveman times.
That's what I'm thinking, too. Like, I wonder, like, who's the first person to ever, like, stand where I'm standing right now? And it's, like, obviously nobody's gonna, like, record that, so, like, nobody knows. But it's, like, those little figments of history that, like, really interest me. Like, oh, who's the first person to ever, like, fucking hold this rock that
True.
I randomly found on this stone, like, driveway right now?
That's fair.
If, like, anybody ever picked it up. Maybe I'm the first person that, like, picked up this random rock.
That's fair. And, like, if we're talking about, like, specifically where we are right now, like, this did not exist in the 70s.
Oh, absolutely not.
So it's just crazy, because, like, this was just fucking grass and, like, trees.
It was swampland.
We in a swamp, baby. We in Florida.
Florida.
Okay. So anyway, it was just very like she was fucking obsessed with autopsies. The hospital was concerned, and I'm like basically what she did was inject patients with morphine and atropine, atropine, atropine.
Oh, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
She injected that into people. And before like she even really started killing that much, she lost jobs because she was giving too many opiates out, which is still a problem today by doctors. We'll just talk about the opiate problem, but whatever.
Yeah, let's just do a whole segment to the opiate problem in America.
No, even then, like, even after she got fired from a fucking hospital because she was doing, like, prescribing too many opiates,
Yeah.
they put her in private care, which means she would be getting more money. And she was just, like, highly recommended for some fucking reason. So at the time, she earned $25 a week when the average woman was earning $5 a
Whoa!
week. Sis was making bank!
She was making 5 times more than the average woman. That's insane to me.
She was making bank, but like she had been fired. People had like she literally like they thought that she was obsessed with autopsies and everything. Like people like the nursing students didn't even like her because she lied so fucking much about her parents, saying that like they were like explorers or like from a different place or like just super important people in society when really like her parents were just like
Immigrants.
not it. Like her mom was already dead, never met mom, sorry babe. Her dad, like, literally insane,
Yeah.
dropped, like, abandoned them when she was 6. Like, so she would lie and, like, tell stories. And I think, like, I hate that, like, I ended up liking her as I researched her. Because, like, part of the thing was that, like, her favorite things was that she liked to gossip, drink beer, tell dirty jokes.
That's just what we do now.
True, but another thing is that she liked turning her friends against each other. She loved the drama.
Psychological manipulation for her own gain.
One of the quotes that I have here that some nursing students that she was like with, her peers, sis said, "There's no use in keeping old people alive."
Wait, this is what this lady said?
Yes. This is what Jane, another fucking... Her nickname was also Jolly Jane.
Jolly Jane?
Jolly Jane
I can tell where
said,
she got it from.
"There is no use in keeping old people alive." And, I mean, I guess there's no use. And that's why sis killed them.
Whoa. You're, It's quite the strong, what's the word?
I just love her. Like, I like her now.
It's a strong position to take right now. Just
I like Jane.
anti-old people. You like Jane?
I like Jane.
She's a role model that I want my daughters to look up to.
Yeah, killing old people.
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
I'm like, low-key, it's not the worst thing to do for society. To be honest. Baby, what's a 70-year-old, 80-year-old gonna do for you?
My dad's 72 years
Oh,
old.
no. Well, for you, I guess he'll be your dad.
He'll be my dad? Okay, so you heard it here, folks. You've heard it here first, folks. Arusy claims... No, she doesn't claim. She states that if you're 60 or older, just drop dead at this point. What else do you have to contribute to society?
Maybe not 60s. We're talking about... I feel like once you start hitting 80, like, what are you doing? Unless, like, you're super active and can do everything by yourself. Like, I would just hate to depend on people and, like, be that way.
Well, it sounds like you think that every old person is just, like, bedbound and, like, stuck. And, like, people have to, like, service them always.
I guess I just haven't really met, like, an 80-year-old that's, like, with it.
I don't think I've ever met an 80-year-old.
Right? And people be living up until, like, 100 and something now. Like,
Who even knows if they exist?
like, what do you do with all your fucking days? I'm 21 and I'm struggling.
You talk to people. You talk to other old people. You go to retirement homes. You make friends. You know, things like that.
I mean, I guess. Anyway. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, go on with your story. Where did you leave off on? That she stated that old people can shut up and die?
Yeah, basically. And that's who she killed, older people.
So she is a serial killer that's specific. See, serial killers are interesting because of, like, the victims that they go after.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, hearing this female serial killer specifically go after the elderly makes me like
Or
wonder.
sick.
Or sick.
Because she was a nurse.
Damn.
Yeah, she would crawl into bed with them after she injected them with morphine and caress them.
The fuck.
And she got like some sexual satisfaction from it.
So it was sexual in nature?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what my research says.
That's what your research says?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Sis got a kick out of it.
I feel like there's a specific term for it, but I've forgotten by now.
Mm-hmm. I think necrophiliac is the one who likes dead people already.
Yeah, they have to be
sex
dead.
with dead people.
Yeah, you gotta fuck a dead person to get your
But the
rocks
thing
off.
is, she never fucked them.
She just laid in bed with them?
Caressing them until they died.
Until they died?
Until they died.
That's very specific.
She said that she liked, like, the feeling of other people being helpless. And I guess that's why she did it. She got off of feeling them literally, like, die in her arms.
That is the most horrifying thing I've ever heard.
It's actually a little bit funny. Like...
Hilarious.
A little bit. A little bit. Because I'm like, this is like a fucking nurse. Paid top dollar.
Yeah.
High recommendations.
The irony is not lost on you.
Like...
In terms of comedic timing and fucking backward ass.
Like, sucks. All those people died, but I'm like, sis. Like,
for the comedy, you know?
I'm like, you're crazy, girl. Jane, you're so wild.
Oh, Jane. What's her full name?
Shit. Her name is Jane Toppan. That's
Jane
her fake...
Toppan.
Well, that's what she changed her name to, or what they had her name changed to. But her name was Honora Kelly originally. That was her birth name. But basically...
What else you got on Jane?
The more like the... I'm smiling because I like... She's so funny to me. She's so fucking funny to me. Okay, so one of the people she fucking killed had a husband, obviously, in that time. What can a woman do apart from give birth, be married, claim the house? And I guess be a fucking nurse like Jane.
I mean, yeah. At that time? I don't... What was it? 1890...
40.
1840?
Yeah.
That's even earlier than I imagined. See, in my head,
54.
I was thinking...
54.
I was thinking like 1901, maybe like 18.
Right? I mean, low-key, I'm like even surprised about her being a nurse, but I also don't know enough of history to even know when nurses, like female nurses, started.
When female nurses existed?
Yeah. Started like being allowed to fucking work.
I mean, in America, I mean, I feel like women healers have always been around.
No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, in America, like, legally, because this bitch was from Boston.
Like, as a job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway. So, one of the people that she was, like, taking care for, because she did go into private practice, was this one woman who she obviously fucking killed. But Jane, my love, my girl, she fell in love with her man.
She fell in love with her patient's husband?
Yes. So she killed the patient, killed the housekeeper.
Why the housekeeper?
Wait for it.
Okay, go.
She killed the housekeeper because she thought, like, damn, I'm gonna show this man I can be a housekeeper.
A provider.
Exactly. I could clean the house. I could do this. So what do I gotta do? Kill the housekeeper.
Yeah, of course.
Housekeeper. Sorry, y'all. I got a lisp.
So instead of, like, trying to convince the husband, oh, hey, fire her, or like, oh, hey, I saw her stealing something, she just goes straight to murder?
Yeah.
Well, we're obviously not dealing with a stable individual.
Obviously not. So she kills the housekeeper, and the guy's like, yo, like, I don't need a housekeeper, and I don't need a fucking wife. Because his wife just fucking died. She was murdered.
In terms of, fucking time to move on, she didn't give him that much.
She didn't. And the thing is, like, after that didn't work, she poisoned him. And she thought that by poisoning him and nursing him back to health, he would fall in love with her.
Kind of like Stockholm Syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Did he? No, he fucking didn't fall in love with her. So what did she do? She threatened to claim that he got her pregnant. Because at that time, like, that was a big thing.
That was it.
That was it. Like, you got a bitch pregnant? Fuck. Like, that's your kid. Like, that's your name. Like...
There's not much you could do at that point.
Exactly. What did he do?
Paternity test. What did he do?
He just kicked her out.
Whoa! Stone cold. What's this guy's name?
I'm like, you got me there. I took notes, but I didn't take notes.
You didn't get the minutia of it all?
For real. And the thing is, like, after that, she even tried to kill herself.
She tried to kill herself?
The same way that she tried to, like, the same way that she did kill everybody else with fucking morphine. Did it work? No, it didn't, because Sish kept killing other people after that.
I've always heard that morphine is, like, a good drug. Like, makes you feel good.
Yeah, but I mean, she, like, put a lot. Like,
Oh,
overdose.
Yeah. But I feel like at a point, like, you'd be filled with ecstasy before you die.
Oh, yeah, so I guess
Like,
it's not the worst way to go.
I mean, if I had to choose, I mean, an overdose of morphine seems pretty well done.
I feel, but, like, in the beginning of it, like, that's when it will feel good.
Yeah.
But then probably, like, there's gonna be a point, like, where you're gonna get the heart attack and you're gonna feel it.
I feel like at that point I'd just be, like, way too high out of my mind to care.
I guess, but I feel like it would just intensify it.
Have you ever had, like, hard drugs for, like, a surgery or something like that?
No.
Oof. I had a nose job done once. That's a story for another day. Like, why I had to do a nose job. But they put me down, they gave me anesthesia, and they said, count to 10. And I go, 1, 2, and then the next thing I know, I wake up and I'm like, when do I go into surgery? And they're like, you already did it. And then I'm like, okay.
Do you remember anything from it or no?
Like, itself?
When you were out, or you were just
Absolutely
out?
not. I was out. I was absolutely out. I was put down, and I just wake up, and I'm in incredible pain.
That's
And
fair.
that's it.
Damn.
Yeah. So I imagine that, like, getting fucking overdosed on morphine, I feel like you just be put down. That's it.
Yeah.
You just wake up into whatever next life there is.
Whatever else happens,
Yeah.
you're there for it. Yeah, so she tried to fucking kill herself with morphine. Didn't fucking work. So what does she do? Kill an entire family.
Wait. All right. You're skipping some steps here.
Am I, though?
Well, I feel like there's
Obviously, she lived her life after her fucking committed, like, after she tried to commit suicide, she lived her life. And then as a nurse, she went, because she was a private practice nurse, she went to another house. So then she killed another person. And then from there, she just killed, like, other people from the same family. So then the other family members were like, what the fuck is going up? Why are so many of our, like, family members fucking dying?
So they basically let this murderer in, and she just kept on murdering, and they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly. They were just like, that's so, like, weird. Why is our family dying so quick, you know?
I feel like I'd be able to pinpoint the exact moment that, like, oh, these 5 people died at the same exact time. I wonder what's the reason.
That's the thing, though. They were, like, suspicious of it. So they got a toxicology report done. And they obviously showed the fucking morphine. And everything led to her because she was the only person who had access to morphine as a fucking nurse. And that's when the fucking cops got her. She confessed to at least 31 killings, but she wasn't sure, so she was like, maybe 100. Anywhere from 35 to 100. Or 31 to 100.
I feel like that's such a vast ballpark.
Yeah. She was like,
31 to 100?
And she felt no remorse, really. She was just like, yeah, like, I did that. She was proud of it, too.
I feel like most serial killers show no remorse. You know?
And I think, like, the funniest thing is that after she got, like, locked up... Well, actually, she didn't get locked up. She just went to an insane asylum. And it was an 8-hour trial, and it only took the jury 27 minutes to find her just insane instead of sending her to fucking jail. 27 minutes.
I mean, if I was in that jury, I feel like it would be pretty easy to determine her to be insane rather than just an evil fucking person.
That's fair. I think the funniest part for me, and this is kind of where our story ends, because she spent the rest of her days in the insane asylum. But
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah. The funniest part is that she started a killing spree because her boyfriend dumped her when she was 16. That triggered her. And a fucking, like, I get it though, because she was 16, boyfriend dumped her. He moved to another like state or another place in fucking Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And he fell in love with someone else. And that's what drove that bitch to killing 31 to 100 people. And one quote that she said that I just find, it makes me giggle, but I'm also like, damn, like that was the reality. Was she said, if I had been a married woman, I probably wouldn't have killed all those people. That's it.
I mean, if you have to point the blame somewhere, might as
That's
well.
what she said.
Yeah.
And that's just fucking insane. That's so funny.
How old was she when she started killing?
16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
So 16 was like the earliest case of her like murdering people.
Yeah. Or actually 18, I would say, because that's when she goes to nursing school.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. When she had access to the morphine.
The morphine and the drugs to
Yeah.
murder her victims. I mean, shit, dude. That's 31 to 100 people. That's an insane number of people to murder. I feel like most serial killers that I've read up is like 15, maybe 20.
But
like hundreds is like insane amount of number.
yeah. I'm like, okay, like she was a nurse, so all the people that she killed were already ill. But how ill were they? You know?
There we go. Now we're talking like where did she count her murders?
Exactly. Like, if
Like-
they were super ill, like if they were gonna die anyway, fuck it, bitch. Go off.
You think that she's fudging the numbers? Like, oh, they're already dying. Might as well like.
Maybe. But it's just the fact that, like, after she injected them with so many drugs, she would crawl into bed with them and hug them, caress them.
For a sexual release.
She, like, got off of, like, she didn't touch them inappropriately,
Yeah.
but she got off of
Yeah.
that.
It's insane how like. How specific ways do people like find sexual pleasure? You know.
Yeah. I didn't write this down, but in her, like, when she was in the asylum, she would say things to the fucking nurses or whoever worked in the asylum when they would come to her room. She'd, like, make jokes about, like, bringing the morphine and, like, having a good time and, like, shit like that. Like, my girl Jane was crazy.
It's a fucking party, dude. Bring the morphine. Just feel good, you know? You know what? If I was sent to an insane asylum for God knows how many years for murdering God knows how many people, at that point, yeah.
Fuck it. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Might as well get high out of my mind. I feel like at 18 fucking 15s, they prescribed a lot of hard drugs for a lot of illnesses.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got a sore tooth? Try fucking pound of cocaine.
Another one of her fucking patients had, like, obviously the patient was fucked up because Jane drugged them. And she kind of remembered Jane coming into bed with her, kissing all up on her.
Wait, so she did actually touch him?
I can't, like, exactly remember if she kissed them
Okay, yeah.
or if she was just touching them. But one of her patients remembered her coming into bed with them. And, like, you know, like, just, like, cuddling them. Or kissing them, I don't know. But they thought it was just a fucking dream because why would your nurse do that? You know? Like, why would such, like, a well-paid nurse, well-recommended nurse do that? So then the person just thought it was a dream. But then when she went to jail, they were like, damn, that was not a fucking dream. That happened.
It's like when you try to repress your trauma and then, like, all of a sudden something triggers it and you're like,
Stop.
fuck.
I'm like me having memories to a little Getty. Stop this moment right now. I had to ask questions to see if, like, my memory was, like, fucked up. Like, if everything came back in 1 minute. And I was like, did this happen?
Damn.
And then I found the truth.
Yeah,
it did happen.
It did happen, damn. Just like Jane and her victims.
Hey, Jane, if you're out there.
If you're out there, like, she's still alive.
Who knows? Who knows? She reincarnated, baby. If you're...
Who knows? Maybe. Anyways, onto my story, specifically picked out because of my love for music. It is about the very first rap song that got commercialized, recorded, and fucking sent across the country.
Damn.
Because at the time, it was like early 1970s. Picture this. Early 1970s.
Early 1970s.
New York City.
New York City.
The Bronx.
The
The
Bronx.
birthplace of hip hop culture and rap. Now, at the time, this was only something that you see in like block parties or like house parties where you'd get a DJ coming out and start playing on the turntables. So, the original fun fact, the man who is credited for inventing all of fucking hip hop that we see now is what's his name? It's Cool Herc.
Cool.
That was his name, Cool Herc. This is his obviously his DJ name. So Cool Herc goes around and he goes to all of these fucking parties and he invented what we call the merry-go-round system, where he would reverse a record on a turntable all the way back to the start of the beat whenever it finished, like the break. So he's basically like, oh, this is obviously the best part of the fucking song. We're gonna have it play fucking forever. And so that's what that's what's called as the merry-go-round theory.
That's what we in the industry.
Us in the industry, in the audio recording industry. And then that's one father of fucking hip hop, Cool Herc. Then we have Grandmaster Flash, who actually invented another piece of technology, which is basically the queuing system, where he'd put on the headphones and he'd be able to listen to what the next fucking part of the song is before he goes and fucking replays the beat and keeps it going. Now, these are all very important names in fucking hip hop. And we have one more, which is fucking Grand Wizard Theodore, the brother of Mean Gene, who at the time Mean Gene was an apprentice of Grandmaster Flash, learning how to replay all the breaks. Now, Theodore, what was his name? Theodore Livingston. He lived with his brother and he lived with his mom. And so, whenever his mom or brother would leave, the number one fucking thing was, yo, don't fucking touch the equipment. Because obviously you're a 12-year-old child. This is expensive equipment. Don't fucking touch it. As soon as the door fucking closes, guess what happens?
He touched it.
He touches all the fucking equipment.
Fucking touched
he decided that I'm going to be the best DJ ever. And so he goes on and he's like replaying beats. And from what I know is he accidentally learned that when you put your fucking hands on the fucking record, on the turntable, and you move it a little bit, you get what we call scratching.
A
right?
wiki wiki.
There we go, exactly. And so he'd go and let the fucking record play. And that's how we have modern turntabling by fucking Cool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and Grand Wizard Theodore.
Whoa.
Now, this was in the 70s, and like I said before, everything was like played at a party. Everything was live. You'd have all these MCs, all these fucking rappers come in and do their very, I don't want to say simple because these are amazing, but they did their rhymes, they did their raps, like at the party.
Wait. Was that like what that one fucking show on Netflix was based off with Jaden Smith?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Beatdown Boogie? Or Boogie something?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was called, but Jaden Smith was in it. It was about that era.
I don't think
and
Jaden
he
Smith
also,
was in it.
It was Jaden Smith. 100%.
Hold up.
Bet my money on it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was Jaden Smith.
I'm going to look up Jaden Smith on Netflix.
It was Jaden Smith.
It was The Get Down.
The Get Down. Jaden Smith, baby.
Alright, you're right. There was a season 2?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh my god, I didn't know that either. So
anyways,
anyways,
was it about that?
It's not about that, but it is
around that time?
It is around that time because it did focus on some of the names that I just said do show up in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandmaster Flash was actually it's a group of 5 guys, right? They become what is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. So they put out their fucking records like White Line and Message. He goes, White Line. It's about the dangers of cocaine and how you shouldn't snort cocaine.
Oh.
Because the name of the song is White Lines.
Yeah, we don't condone that here.
No. The cocaine is stupid, and if you do it, you're a stupid head. Anyways, yeah, it is actually about that time, but that time was specifically more about kind of like the early fucking days and how turntabling and dancing and people would like join groups and go out. And so this was like mid 70s going on to later 70s. And in the 80s, an R&B artist known as Sylvia Robinson, she went to fucking the Bronx one day and she heard obviously a block party and she's like, this is fucking good. Let's put it on a record and let's put it all across America. And so she'd go and she'd contact all these big names. She'd walk up to Grandmaster Flash, she'd go to Cool Herc, and they'd all be like, no, that's fucking lame. This is all about the party. And then she's stressed out and she's like, this needs to be a part of the future. Like, people need to hear this. And so she goes to 3 fucking people. I don't know how she found them, but I assume she asked, yo, show me all of the rappers in New York. And so she goes to, I only have their stage names, I don't have their actual names. We have Wonder Mike, Master G, and Big Bank Hank. Guess what group they started?
What group did
The
they
Sugar Hill Gang.
The Sugar Hill Gang.
The Sugar Hill Gang. Most notably, their biggest records being Apache and Rapper's Delight. You know those songs.
Yes.
I don't think you know.
I don't think I know those songs.
So Apache's like, dun, 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 jump on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know it.
Jump on it, yeah. And Rapper's Delight was actually the very first record that became commercially famed for fucking hip hop. Mm-hmm. Anyways, 1979, Rapper's Delight gets released, and originally, when they originally recorded it, it became a 14-minute long song because nobody told them, hey, you should stop now, and they didn't think, oh, we should stop now. So we have the original recording at 14 minutes long, eventually getting cut down to like 3:49 for radio play.
That's pretty crazy.
It's fucking a lot. But the thing is, they treated it like it was another party. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we're just going to keep going. We're going to pass the mic to the next person. When we're done, they're going to start their rhymes. And it did go on like that for like 14 minutes because that's how a set would normally last for like one song back then. But this song became famous. It went everywhere. Everybody was talking about this fucking song, Rapper's Delight. But there is 2 things wrong that they realized that they fucked up on. And the first one is these are all claims. Or like one of them is a claim. The second one isn't. But the first claim was that one of the members of the Sugar Hill Gang actually plagiarized fucking lines from another song. Damn. Grandmaster Caz, another big name in hip hop back then. And this is obviously a very big accusation because, well, this is not, it's the meat and bones. Well, not even the meat and bones. I'm going to throw out the food analogy altogether because I realized I was going nowhere with that. Anyways, this is a big deal to be accused of fucking stealing somebody's fucking rhymes.
Yes.
And the second criticism that they faced was the fact that they sampled from an original song called Chick Good Times. And it goes, we are all good times. And it kind of copies the part in Rapper's Delight, the guitar. It goes dun 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 dun. And so not only are they accused of sampling without permission, they get sued for it by the fucking band. And they're like, yo, you can't do this. Like, it's fine if you do it at a party, but like to actually record an album or like record a record and get money for it, get paid, and then play it all across the fucking country, it's kind of like where we start getting the idea of, well, not start getting the idea of, but like in hip hop, getting permission for sampling beats and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting for that tiny, yeah.
Yes.
And that's about it for Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. Do you feel like you learned something new?
I did. I feel like I learned a lot. Will I retain it? I hope I do, because it was interesting.
I doubt that you're going to retain it, due to the fact of all the other things that I've told you that you have not retained.
Okay. I'm like, all right, chill out. Calm down. They don't gotta know. Chill out.
They don't gotta know the extent.
My memory is intact.
Mine isn't. I forget a lot. I feel like I'm face blind, you know?
It's like, I don't even think I forget a lot. It's just like, at this point, I just don't remember. Like, there's a difference.
It's just a hole of information.
Yeah.
You do not remember anything. You cannot retain anything.
I cannot. Anyways, thanks for listening to the Low Expectations
podcast.
podcast. Now it's you who's lacking.
I was
Look at this turnout.
I strongly didn't expect
Follow us on Instagram at Low Expectations Pod.
And you can follow us on Twitter at LowXPod. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us 5 stars, a comment. Just let us know where we can be doing better. Same goes with YouTube. Please leave us a comment.
Just tell us where we're fucking up.
Tell us. That's really where
Tell
we're
us we
fucking
suck.
up. Anyways, check us out next week. Thank you very much, and have a good night.